So look, if you want to grow your wealth, your income, and increase the amount of time off, then these are the shortcuts that can help. Welcome to the Wealth Creation Podcast. And welcome everybody, it's Dan, hope you're well today, welcome to the show. So today we're going to talk about search engine optimization. It is actually SEO week this week, and what SEO week means is that there's a discount off our setup fees of £300, which is pretty amazing, I think. Anyway, let's talk about SEO and why you should have it, and what it's going to do for your business in the long term. And I also want to just cover as well, just before I talk about that specifically, I also want to talk about why some businesses it's probably not right for, and I just want to cover that off first. So if you're a brand new business and you've not made many sales, SEO right now is probably not for you. It's just, you're not quite there yet. And you probably get a better response if you go for content. Putting out a lot more content will get you a lot more instant results than doing SEO. And the reason for this, and the reason why I say this, even though we sell SEO services, is that SEO can take some time. There's no guaranteed result on any of it, right? It's a mixture between an art form and a science. Is it more art form? Is it more science? Depends on who you speak to, of course. It's a little bit of both, a little bit of magic thrown in just for funsies. But you've got to be in a position where you're able to sell property, to be able to sell product, right? And if you've not sold any product before, then you're kind of going to struggle a little bit, I think, with SEO, and you should really be using content. That said, if you are already in business and you're already selling stuff, then SEO works really well. Let me go open the door. Just typical, isn't it? One of the joys of working from home is that Amazon turns up just when you least expect it. So, sorry about that. So, being visible, live stream from home, eh? Oh, it's all rock and roll here, folks. This is just how we roll. So, talk about being visible on search engines. And one of the reasons why you need to be more visible is that people right now, right this very second, are probably typing in whatever it is that you sell. So if you're a plumber in Leeds, somebody in Leeds has got a leak, right? Somebody right now needs a plumber. And if you're not coming up to the top of the search engine rankings, then how are people going to know that you actually exist? Now, obviously, you might be able to put out some content and that kind of thing. People get to know that you exist that way. But there's two types of content that's really important here. One of them is called push content and one of them is called pull content. Push content is like a newspaper. You put an advert in a newspaper and you're pushing it out and you're hoping that the person at the point that they're seeing the advert needs what you're selling at that specific point in time. And that's kind of like content going out on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and all those other good things, which is why, by the way, you have to continually push content out because you don't know when that person needs that stuff that you sell, right? You've got to continually push that content out. Pull content, it's not really pull content, more like pull marketing, is where I go, I'm in Leeds, I've got a boiler problem, I need a plumber. I go to Google, I type boiler repairs Leeds, plumbers in Leeds, and I pull the content back to me. So that's the difference between push content and pull content. And if you're not coming up to the top of Google, they're not using you. They're going to go use somebody else, okay? And so this is one of the reasons why you have to be visible on both push content and pull content, which is things like Google SEO and all of that kind of thing. So the next bit, I just chuckled to myself about going live and Amazon turning up. And then the dogs all bark. And then, anyway, the parcels arrive. And you're like, what do? Do you just leave the dogs to bark? Or do you do you rush off your live stream? Anyway, who cares, right? It's just life, full on. It's most beautiful stuff, right? It is life. It's live and it's life. Next one then, update content on your pages. So you need to be doing this. If you're not doing this, then you're never going to get your pages ranking. But there's a certain way of doing it. And if you don't know how to do it, you're probably not going to get it working, right? Yeah, you can go learn how to do it. How long's that going to take? why don't you just learn how to build your house and how to fix your car and how to do your own dentistry? And if you're having a heart attack, learn how to, get a mirror and just fix your own heart. Why not do that? It doesn't quite work. And so you're best off letting it be passed over to somebody else who actually does know what they're doing. When we started creating websites, we started creating websites a long time ago, way before we created the digital marketing agency. I remember, when did I work at Esteem? And we did an intranet, and an intranet is like an internal website. It doesn't go out on the World Wide Web. It's just hosted on the server and you can access it. So I remember creating the intranet back in that business in 1993, something like that. And then, of course, we did the website for them. And we've always done websites, always part-time before we really created the business. And so we really do know what we're doing. We've coded in HTML. We use Dreamweaver. Do you remember Dreamweaver 4 back in those good old days of website design? And at its peak, we had a lettings agency that drove 35,000 visitors every single month back to the website, which is a huge amount of website visitors. Imagine 1,000 people a day running through your shop. That's what we had running through our lettings agency website. And we sold that website agency back in 2011, I think it was, 12 years ago. But we did all that because we're able to update the content on the web pages, get that content ranked, get lots of backlinks, and that really helps us. And that's definitely something that you need to be doing as well. But one of the long-term benefits here is that you get to drive more traffic to your website and it doesn't cost you anything. Like, you could run Facebook ads or Google ads to run traffic to your website, but how much per click? Is it £1 a click, 50 pence a click, 20 pence a click? Or you can rank for certain keywords. We just had one, we were doing some work on someone's website, and we were like, we should actually rank for this search term. So we created a web page and we went and we ranked that search term the following day, number 1. Like, that's very rare that happens. It's just that it's on our website. We've got lots and lots of backlinks. It's a well-respected website by Google. And so it was easier for us to create a brand new page with the keywords. And we know what we're doing, right? We've been doing it for donkey's years. But one of the beauties of this is that as soon as we started ranking for that, we already got visitors landing on that web page. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to do that for you, because who knows, right? Depends on what you've done to your website, basically. Lots of people try and do it themselves, then they end up spamming and keyword stuffing and buying backlinks and dodgy backlinks and all sorts of random things, right? But the beauty of doing this right is that over a long period of time, you're going to get to be able to drive traffic to your website for free. Now, if you're first starting out, like we say, might not be a good idea to focus on SEO. It might be a better idea to focus on Google pay-per-click. If it's a pull, I need a plumbing 24-hour plumber, Google pay-per-click would work really well for that. But if you've been in business 3 to 5 years, you really should be starting to work on your SEO now for your website to start pulling some of this traffic to you without it having to cost you on a monthly basis. And then the last point here is that this is a long-term investment. And sometimes you don't get the absolute results for this for months or years down the line. But it's a gradual improvement on your search engine rankings. You might not rank for any keywords whatsoever right now. And that's all right. And then you sign up. Then we identify the keywords and we work on some keywords. And then we work on other keywords. And then slowly you get to page 7, number 8, right? And then a couple of weeks after that, maybe page 5, number 6. And then after that, you're on page 3. And then after that, you're on page 2. And then after that, you're on page 1. Maybe, right? Maybe. And I'm not this kind of guy that believes that if you just get, top 3 on page 1, if you don't get as good as that, it's a waste of time. I don't believe in that. I've gone to page 10 for my search terms. Where I'm looking for something, and I've gone to Google's page 10, and there I found the bit of information that I needed of a company I wanted to work with. I don't believe you have to get on page 1. It helps. The more clicks that you get in those top 1, 2, and 3 positions, boy, that definitely helps. But I don't think that's the be all end all. I've never thought that. And those people that are saying, you've got to be number 1, I just don't believe on that. And then it might not be plumber in Leeds as a key term. It might be 24-hour plumber LS15 Leeds. That might be the search term. And depending on the volume, there might be 20 or 50 searches on that search term every single month. Well, imagine if you got 50% of that. there's, let's say 40, because I can do the maths. Let's say there's 40 people on average every single month typing that into Google, and you get 50% of that business because you've got that, what we call a long tail keyword. Well, that's worth it, right? An extra 20 customers off that. Why would that not be worth it? Of course it's worth it. So I don't think that you have to be on page 1, and I don't think that you have to have the top plumbers in Leeds kind of key phrases in order to be successful. These longer term keywords are really where you want to focus your time and effort to begin with, at least. And then as you get more credible with your website and you get more backlinks to your website and more visitors to your website, then at that point you can start going for these more top-endy keywords. All right, that will do us for today. Lots of fun rushing out for the Amazon delivery there. The joys of working from home. Have yourselves a wicked week. We'll be back all this week talking about SEO. I know you can't wait. You can hardly contain yourselves. All right, have a good one. We'll speak to you soon. Take care. Hey, it's Dan here. Thank you for listening. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Please click like or subscribe to the entire podcast.